Today, I show you how to make these fantastic, efficient storage solutions for your base. Welcome on in, folks, and I hope you're doing good and great and fantastic. So, efficient storage. I've got two different things here, one for the regular wooden chests and one for the iron chests. Now, I will say that I've done the iron chests one for posterity's sake, but I don't think it looks as nice and works as well as the wooden storage one. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make it. Super simple. All you're going to want to do is make a little alcove that is 1 floor or 2 meters deep. In this case, I'm going to split it in half. Make it as high as you want to fit your base. There really is no limitation to this. However, we will be going up in 1 meter increments for the smaller chests, and 1.25 meter increments for the larger chests. And I'll show you how we do that in a bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill this alcove in really quickly. And there we have it. Now we're going to want to take our 1 meter wood beam, and we're just going to want to line these across the floor. And that's because we're going to need the 1 meter high adjustments for the interior. And then we're going to go ahead and take our 1 meter wooden pole here, and we're going to do the same on the outer wall on each side. Know that I'm twisting these at a 45-degree angle to what they're normally at, and that just gives the storage a little bit of depth and a little bit of shape, which I find really pleasing to the eye. But you can absolutely just do them straight up as well, and you get a much more sort of flat, almost blocky feel, but it is super efficient still. And then we're going to go ahead and take our 2 meter beams, and we're going to place them down like so in here, and we're going to top that off. You know, we're not going to top that off with some 1 meters actually. We're going to go ahead and take our 2 meter horizontal beams, and we're going to run across like this. And there we now have our base sort of grid for us to put our storage chests in. And now we're just going to go ahead and take these 2x2 floors, and we're going to put them in so that the chests have something to sit on top of within the storage there. And then to finish it off, we're just going to go ahead and grab our chests. And what we're going to do is we're going to look for the lip of the wood, and we're going to place them just on the inside of the lip like so. So they get the full shape of the diagonal beams, but they don't protrude over. You see, if you bring them out too far, they sort of start to protrude over. If you get them just behind the lip of the wood there, then they look great, and they look like that's exactly where they were supposed to be the whole time. And you just want to go ahead and fill in your storage. You might have many, you might not have many. You might be doing lots of little alcoves, or you might be doing one great big storage wall in your base. Once you get up to the slightly higher levels, just to have something to stand on, I find can be quite useful. So I just do something like this, and then I can get in with my height advantage and just carry on placing the chests. If you are liking this video, guys, please go ahead and hit that like button. Maybe consider subscribing, or even turning that notification bell on. I really appreciate it. We are back in the swing of things over on the stream, Valheiming to our heart's content, and YouTube videos are going to be much more common on the docket. And then I'm just going to go ahead and fill in the top here with just a little 1x2 or half wall, and then maybe beam to frame it out. And there you have your storage. Now, one thing that I love to do is signpost each individual part of my storage like so. And as you can see, I have used colored signs. There will be a video coming out on colored signs soon, so you know, make sure you're keeping your eye out for that. But essentially all you're going to do is you're going to line up the signs with, and this is one of the great things about the diagonal posts, is that the signs line up perfectly with the point of each diagonal post. As you can see, it connects to the point of each side, almost like it was meant to be. And you can go ahead and place your signs on every little rung if you want. Or also sometimes if I'm doing mass storage for like things like wood and stone, then I might just put a sign up on the very top rung to signify the entire column is one thing. You know, you can go ahead and go color green, wood, and then we can do like a VV. Oh, too far over. Like that. You know, to signify downwards. And you got yourself that. Now, I have actually found out recently you can do emojis on these signs as well. So that will also be in the sign video when it gets made. Which is kind of exciting. But there you go. That is your efficient storage solution right there. Now, for doing the iron chests, it is a little bit different. You do start with your alcove, as before. You want to, once again, grab your 1 meter beam and line the floor with them. The beautiful part of this is that you do actually just use the same width as you do with the wooden ones. The difference here is in the height. Because as you can see, if I go ahead and place a iron chest down in this gap here, where it fits, which is right there, and then I try and place our floor in so we can get our second floor in, the chest pokes through, and you think, oh, well, that's all right, because we're not going to be able to see it. The issue is that we can't place another chest on top of that. So how do we combat this? We combat this by using a fantastic little technique called core wood snapping. So we're going to go ahead and take our 2 meter beam here. We're going to lay it on top right there. You see how that's on top? Now that creates our 1/2 meter height gap. And with that, we can bring a 1 meter beam here on top of it. And we can get rid of the core wood beam. And then we can bring a horizontal beam over at 1.5 meters high. You see here, this is 1 meter and this is 2 meters. And here we've got a beam coming across at 1.5 meters, which is just about enough, but actually really too much, the iron chests. So when it comes to placing the signs, when it comes to these iron chest ones, and you will see over here, I actually have the signs sort of lower down to cover up that little gap we've got. So from here, you can just go ahead and take your vertical beams like so, not a problem. And you can take your horizontal beams, slap them in. And again, going to have a situation up here where the 1/2 meter comes into play. You don't have it on this rung. This rung sits on the correct height. So you got 1.5, 1.5, and then you have it again on this one. So you're going to go ahead and chuck your log beam in, this time underneath, and then you're going to go ahead and attach horizontal beam right under it, like so. And then of course you're left with this gap, and that gap is quite ugly. The way that I have done the gap here, and I quite like this, is you just go ahead and take your horizontal beam. You get rid of this for the moment, just for the moment. And you sort of stand back and you sink it in, but not too much. You actually want it to protrude to about there. That's maybe a little bit too much, actually. You want it to protrude out. Yeah, there you go. So that it's sort of in line with the diagonal beam there. You can do the same on this side, but that time it just snaps. So, you know, happy days. Then you want to go ahead and using the bottom snapping, get these back in place. And then we are ready to put in the last of our floors and the reinforced chests. Now these don't snap in quite as nicely to the forefront. Ideally we'd have them here. They refuse to snap no matter what when they overlap like that. So unfortunately we do have to have them snapped a bit further back in to the area like this. And that is just an unfortunate situation. I just realized that we have forgotten to place our outside beams there. There we go. And there we have our chests in. And the way that I'm going to do the signs with this one is that on these very top signs, I'm actually going to snap them in under that protruding beam that we made. Like so. And they end up looking really nice under there. Like they were meant to be. And then for the rest of the signs, the trick really is to just cover up this little gap here. And so you just want to snap them as low as you can on the cross beams. And that way it covers up the gap. It makes everything look as if it's supposed to be that way. And you have got yourselves a fantastic little storage system full of either regular wooden chests or iron chests. The iron chests do technically offer more storage for the space, even though you only managed to get 12 iron chests in versus the 16 wooden chests, with the wooden chests only offering 10 rows and the iron chests offering 24 rows. The iron chests is definitely the more efficient. However, the wooden chests is probably the prettier. If you guys have enjoyed this video, if you have, make sure you hit that like button, consider subscribing, and don't forget to check me out on Twitch. I stream Monday to Friday starting at 1 PM BST. I'd love to see you there. Link is in the description below. See you next time.